Hello class, and welcome to the lesson for solving multi-step inequalities. This video lesson is split up into 3 different parts, so let's go ahead and take a look at our focus for the first section. Our focus for this first section is to solve multi-step inequalities. And you should be able to answer the question, how do you solve multi-step inequalities? We're going to be using all different kinds of operations, so addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division, using inverse operations in order to isolate a variable when solving a multi-step inequality. Now we're going to use a lot of the skill sets and knowledge that we learned in how to solve multi-step equations, carry that over into this lesson in order for us to all be very successful. But I do want to remind you again to remember when working with inequalities, if you would happen to multiply or divide by a negative value, the inequality symbol will switch directions. It's very important to keep that in mind. So let's go ahead and take a look at our first example of writing and solving a multi-step inequality. Our first example is we have negative 5y minus 2 is less than 8. Now, the variable that we're isolating is y, so we need to add 2 to both sides of our inequality. When we do that, the left side of our inequality simplifies to negative 5y is less than 10, because these cancel it out. Now what we're going to need to do is divide by negative 5. And I know just by saying that, since I'm dividing by a negative value, my inequality symbol is going to change. So I'm just going to drop that down now. It's going to change to be greater than. And 10 divided by negative 5 is equal to negative 2. So here we go. We wrote out and solved this multi-step equation. First, we use the inverse operation by adding, and then we use the inverse operation by dividing. But since we divided by a negative value, our inequality symbol changed directions. So our solution is y is greater than negative 2. So let's take a look at one more example where we have 6 is less than or equal to 12 plus 4j. We're going to first use inverse operations by subtracting 12 from both sides of our inequality. When we do that, the left side of our inequality will simplify to negative 6 is less than or equal to 4j, since these canceled out. Now we need to divide both sides by 4. Since 4 is being multiplied by j, we do the inverse operation to undo that operation. We're left with j is less than, there we go, and negative 6 divided by 4 is equal to negative 1.5. Here we go. 1.5 is less than or equal to j. If you have any questions on this part of the lesson on solving multi-step equations, please let me know. Answer the questions below and then go ahead to the next page to do the next part of this lesson.